Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for May 31st. May 31st is the 151st day of the year on the Gregorian calendar, 152nd in leap years, with 214 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is immemorial. Immemorial is an adjective that means very old, beyond memory or recorded history. This comes to us from Latin, and the earliest documented use of the word immemorial is 1593. I'd like to take a moment to mention that links to my research are included in the show notes. Ask you to go ahead and click that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Remember that you can share this video with others. I'll link in your email, messaging, or social media. And with that, we're going to start in the year 455, when Roman Emperor Petronius Maximus was stoned to death by an angry mob while fleeing Rome. Yikes, why? Well, it started with Emperor Valentinian III. Maximus had arranged for the assassination of Valentinian and then stepped right up to take his place. Insisted that Valentinian's widow marry him and that her daughter, Eudocia, cancel her betrothal to Huneric, Huneric, and marry his son instead. Now, Huneric's dad, Gaiseric, Gaiseric, was the Vandal king, and he didn't take this well. And within 2 months, Gaiseric set sail for Italy to avenge this terrible slight against his son. News of this impending invasion reached Rome, and the citizenry panicked. OMG, the Vandals were on the way. I'm going to guess that their reputation preceded them. And it was all Maximus's fault. He began to arrange his escape and was on his way out of town when his bodyguard abandoned him. The angry mob caught up with him and stoned him to death. Pretty sure his son was executed as well. The Vandals sacked Rome, and the activities that they engaged in have given rise to the modern term vandalism. This is the birthday of American poet, essayist, and journalist Walt Whitman, born May 31st, 1819. He lived to the age of 72. This is the birthday of German microbiologist Julius Richard Petri, inventor of the Petri dish. He was born on May 31st, 1852, and lived to the age of 69. This is the birthday of American entrepreneur John Ringling, born May 31st, 1866. He's one of the founders of the Ringling Brothers Circus. Now look, John built a beautiful home for himself and his wife in Sarasota, Florida, and they were also art collectors. So there's an amazing fine art museum in Sarasota, and I certainly encourage you to go visit if you're ever in Florida or the Sarasota, Tampa area. Give yourself a day to go to the Ringling. There's an art museum housing the art that the Ringlings had collected. There's also a circus museum on the grounds, and John built Mabel a beautiful home there. It's called Kadazan, and that means House of John. And so if you're ever that way, try to give yourself time to go visit at least Kadazan. If you're an art appreciator of the museum, and while you're there, you might as well see the circus museum too. It's all very interesting. Kadazan is a lovely historic home right on the water there. Back to John Ringling, though. He was born on May 31st, 1866, and lived to the age of 70. On May 31st, 1879, Gilmore's Garden in New York City was renamed Madison Square Garden by William Henry Vanderbilt, open to the public at 26th Street and Madison Avenue. This is the birthday of American minister and author Norman Vincent Peale, and somehow in all the confusion I failed to get the year of his birth or how long he lived, so maybe if I pick that up in a little bit here, I can put it in place. This is the birthday of American minister and author Norman Vincent Peale, born May 31st, 1898. He's best known for his work in popularizing the concept of positive thinking, especially through his best-selling book, The Power of Positive Thinking. I know that what he's written has helped a lot of people throughout the years. Norman Vincent Peale lived to the age of 95. The RMS Titanic was launched in Belfast, Northern Ireland on May 31st, 1911. There was a race riot in Tulsa, Oklahoma on May 31st, 1921. At least 39 people died, but estimates do run from 55 to 300 possibly killed in those Tulsa race riots. This is the birthday of American actor, director, musician, and producer Clint Eastwood, born May 31st, 1930. Of course, he is still alive and turns 90 in 2020. This is the birthday of Canadian singer, songwriter, and producer Corey Hart, born May 31st, 1962. Most famous for his hit singles Sunglasses at Night and Never Surrender, he turns 58 in 2020. This is the birthday of Hungarian politician, 38th Prime Minister of Hungary, Viktor Orbán, born May 31st, 1963, and he turns 57 in 2020. In accordance with the Uniform Monday Holiday Act that was passed by the U.S. Congress in 1968, observation of Memorial Day occurred on the last Monday in May for the first time in 1971, rather than on the traditional Memorial Day of May 30th. The Trans-Alaska Pipeline was completed on May 31st, 1977. There was another tornado outbreak on May 31st, 1985, in which 41 tornadoes hit Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and Ontario, leaving 76 dead. And I think that's going to do it for us today. I hope you learned something you didn't know before. I know I sure did. I always do. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share if you found this video interesting, entertaining, or informative. As always, links to my research are included in the show notes. You can check out my other channel, 8 Susquehanna. There is a link in the show notes to that as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. We'll start from the beginning. Do that again. Signed the it's a mouthful. Archaeologist. Thank goodness for editing. And we'll probably leave that part out. I don't know how all that's going to go together, or if it's even going to make it to the video. We'll just see. That's not going to go. Yeah, we're going to cut those out. That'll all be laying on the cutting room floor. So I'll just do that whole thing over. That might not make it into the video. We'll see. Changing it up.